Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Today, I have a great topic, one of my favorite topics, if I may say so, and it's how wounded feminine energy may manifest or show up in your relationships. And I'm going to be talking about romantic relationships. So, this is a very juicy topic that I know it's very trending amongst women right now because we all want to find love, we all want to find the one. It's very rare that you find a woman that actually wants to stay alone throughout her life. And I actually believe that finding a life partner, a husband, somebody to share your life with is one of the most fulfilling things that you can do in your life because it's like experiencing life through another lens, experiencing life with another person. And as we know, life is wonderful, full of wonder, full of color, full of experiences. So having a husband to experience this with is like doing it twice, right? Like experiencing double of the great things that are out there for us. All right, so I want to start this video with a disclaimer. I know some of you may be in relationships that are kind of out there, like you don't know what's going on, perhaps like a situationship, something where your partner hasn't really committed to you. I don't want to go too deep into that right now, but I don't really believe in that type of relationship. So if you have sort of like a boyfriend, a situationship, somebody that you're just casually dating, just know that most of the tips and advice that I'm going to give for each one of these are mostly for marriage or for a life partner, like somebody that you live with, that you are committed with, that really has chosen you as somebody who he wants to spend the rest of his life with, right? When it comes to any other type of relationship, just know that you shouldn't be giving your all or even worrying about somebody who isn't going to be in your life forever, or that you're not even sure if that's the person who you want to spend the rest of your life with or have children with, or share all your energy, all of your creation, all of your womanhood with this person. So I guess that could be like a first advice that I want to give you is, if you don't have a person that has chosen you, a husband, a life partner, a real relationship with a man, then do not let wounded feminine energy have any place, because this person really isn't anything for you right now, right? They're just one more person in the world, one more person out there. You should learn from these experiences so you can prepare yourself to be with the man of your dreams, to be the man who's going to be there with you forever. Any relationship in your life right now can train you to train those triggers, the communication, all of those limiting beliefs, to be ready for the person who's going to be your person for the rest of your life, the man that you want, the dream life, all of that. All right, so with that disclaimer, we can get started. And the first way that I see feminine wounded energy show up in relationships is with women being controlling. It is really sad for me to see how men are turning against women in many ways. They're starting to think that we are toxic, manipulative, and all these things. Now, I do see that there is a big wound right now amongst women of being really controlling with their partners, with doing crazy things like checking his phone, having to know his location at all times, uh, being super annoyed when you don't know where he's all the time. If he stops texting you for 30 minutes or an hour, you immediately start panicking. This is absolutely insane. This comes from a really deep feeling of unworthiness. It comes from a deep feeling of unsafety. You do not feel safe, and it is showing up in your relationships. Now, it is your responsibility to heal these deep inside of you. It probably comes from your parents, it probably comes from your childhood, it comes from really deep places that are going to end up affecting the moment that you get married, the moment that you get with somebody else. And marriage is one of the areas that really triggers us and that really makes us grow the most in life. So it is a beautiful thing. It is the thing that makes you grow probably the most aside from parenting. The reason why you are controlling aside from childhood trauma or not feeling safe, it's probably because you have drifted away from source, from God, from the universe, from the energy of the world, whatever you want to call it. Let me explain. In every religion and in every teaching that has to do with law of attraction, in any spiritual teaching, they always teach you to trust. Maybe in Christianity, it can be shown as faith. You need to have faith in God. You need to trust that the world is working towards you, towards your goals, towards what you want. You need to believe in the good intention of energy and that everything that you put out actually comes back in your favor. So once you drift away from God, once you drift away from this source of faith, of knowing that everything is okay, for some reason you start feeling unsafe. Because if there isn't a God, an almighty source, something that you can fully trust in, then chances are that you're gonna feel deeply unsafe. You're gonna feel like you need something to hold you. So you hold on into these little things. You hold on into knowing his location. You hold on into really asking a lot of questions and demanding that you know everything about this person. This is really delicate. Men do not like to be controlled. Remember, when you're controlling a man, when you're trying to push him to tell you all of these things, it's like you're penetrating his area. It's like you're penetrating his energy. You're stepping into his body. And this is not feminine at all. This is actually masculine. The masculine energy is the one that penetrates, the one that goes in. As for women, we just lay back and let it come to us. And trust me, your hormones are going to thank you when you stop being controlling. So, what I would recommend for number one is going deep inside of you, seeing what is the root of this insecurity. If it was childhood, if it's something that he did in the past, if it's something that triggers you in general about relationships, if there is a past relationship that may have left you feeling like there are many things wrong with men. And we're going to talk about that next. So, before I move on to number two, I also want to point out that your intuition a lot of times is very strong. So, look at the person that you're with, look at his behavior, look at what he has done in the past. Sometimes we have a gut feeling that there's something really, really wrong. In this case, you don't need to go and know all the details. You just need to trust yourself and step away from the situation. Now, if it is your husband, your life partner, the person that you're with long term, I do recommend working through it, seeing what is in there, especially working on it yourself, forgiving if you feel like it's something that can be forgiving. But many times we are looking out for a reason to leave. We're looking out for a reason to fly, to escape, to leave the situation. Most of the times, I believe many things with relationships can be fixed, can be worked through, especially because I believe in really saving marriages, saving relationships. If if they are your life partner, not situationships, not little boyfriends, nothing like that. If you are actually in a partnership with a man, in a marriage, if you are really deep into building your life with a person, I personally believe that most things can be fixed. Maybe not physical violence, maybe not certain things that can put your life in danger, your physical health, many, extreme abusive situations that I'm not an expert in. I'm not a therapist, I'm not a psychologist, but for most normal people that are not predators, just normal people, things can be fixed and worked through. Again, my recommendation is to go on yourself, work on your triggers first, and then when you feel comfortable, when you feel worthy, when you feel loved, chances are the controlling part is just gonna fade away. You're not gonna feel the need for it anymore. Me personally, I used to do this a lot. I was very controlling. I would feel terrible if I didn't know every piece of information of or every outcome of every little thing. And I assure you, men appreciate it greatly when we are able to let go of control. They start leading, they start stepping into their masculine, they start being more romantic. There are many things that come to you whenever you let go of control. It's very similar to a relationship with God, right? You don't want to force God to give you things. You don't want to peek to see if your blessings are ready. You actually just want to step back. You want to relax. You want to let go and you want to let the blessings come to you. It's very similar with men. So that's number one, being controlling. Number two is a trending topic that I love to talk about. I believe is some of the work that serves you the most in every area of your life, and that is limiting beliefs. Yes, I know. We love this one. So, we've all heard the dreadful quote of saying, all men are bad. There's no good men anymore. All men are pigs. All men are blah, blah, blah. Men only want one thing. Oh gosh, I hate it when I hear these things. This is awful. I hate that our daughters, that everybody is getting this message of really going against men. This is awful, and I really recommend that you stop doing it if you're currently on that train. You need to step out of the men hating train. Really, if you affirm that there's no good men out there, then there's no good men out there. You're gonna get all the bad ones. You're gonna get the predators. You're gonna get the ones that are lost and they don't feel worthy and they're not ready for a relationship. Stop affirming this. Stop affirming this with your friends. Stop affirming this online. I see comments on social media saying, like, I would rather be with a bear than be with a man. Most of the people that have built things in our world, safety protocols that bring food to our table, are men. You need to appreciate the masculine in our lives and really start seeing them as worthy people, as people who deserve respect. It doesn't make sense and is not in alignment to really want women to be respected, to be seen as goddesses, if you are not able to respect men and see God in them. There is a piece of God in all of us, also in men. God manifests through men differently than he manifests through women. So you need to respect that, accept it, see it, and appreciate it. This can also show up in small ways. You can think that in your area there aren't good men, that all men in your area are broke, that are men in your area want you to pay for dates, that all men in your area aren't going to date you because you have kids, perhaps. Limiting beliefs can really show up in the big picture and in the small picture. So dig deep. What are your limiting beliefs about men? My limiting belief about men is that I used to think all men were cheaters. How I healed it is that I looked at my friend group. I have a friend group of a lot of men, amazing men, that have been with their wives for many, many years, and I know for sure they would never cheat on their partners. So I was thinking, if so many people can get it just in my circle, why can I? Why not me? You know? I look for proof that not all men are cheaters, and trust me, I found plenty of it. Plenty of it. And I'm sure there's plenty of proof and evidence of your limiting belief not being true as well. So look for it everywhere. Another exercise that I want you to have regarding limiting beliefs is that I want you to appreciate men. Appreciate men, not just your partner, not just your husband, but in general. Whenever there is a cook, a chef in the restaurant where you go, appreciate that he's creating a delicious meal for you. Appreciate the security guard that walks around your block all the time. Appreciate the drivers of buses, of school buses. Appreciate policemen, firefighters. Appreciate military men. Appreciate single fathers that stay with their children. Appreciate those that are married and that love their wives, those that work, those that work long hours, the ones that don't work long hours because they figured out a way to free up their time to spend times with their families. There's so many things that men do for us. They put structure, they make logic, they build what we desire. Isn't that amazing that we have a whole gender, a whole energy dedicated to putting life, building, creating, speaking into existence the things that we want. So, aside from appreciating, I also recommend that next time a man does something for you, look at him like he's your hero. Like you just saw Superman, Batman, whatever your favorite hero is. Look at them like they are there to make your life better. And I assure you, you're gonna start seeing your husband, your partner, doing a lot of things for you. He's gonna change. He's gonna feel like you value his energy. All right, for number three, we have nitpicking and criticizing. Yeah, this is a big one. I see a lot of women doing this. This also comes from wounds. This comes from thinking that if you don't hold on tight into something or make it your own way, then it's not gonna be right, right? Or that you are right all the time. You may have a lot of masculine energy on you and you want to control the way that things show up in your life. Well, I recommend that you step back, that you get a life of your own. I know it sounds a bit tough, but if you are really paying so much attention to what a man is doing or somebody else is doing, that means that you are not looking at yourself. Maybe you should get a hobby. Maybe you should take a look at things that you would like to create and start focusing on that, on your physical appearance, your mental plane, the way that you think of things. There are many things that you can fix instead of trying to fix others. Each person has their own journey, and nitpicking and criticizing isn't the greatest of things, especially when it comes to men. Men know how to do things, and you need to respect that. Sometimes you think that they don't know what they're doing or that you really need to leave them, but if there is an energy that is capable of creating really, really good things in our lives, it's them. So chances are that if you let it flow, let them make their own mistakes, let them figure it out on their own, it's going to be much, much easier, and you're going to see things come to fruition the way that you want them. One thing that I really hate about nitpicking and criticizing is that it puts you in your mothering energy. Men do not marry their mothers, at least not healthy men. So if you want a healthy man, you better stop mothering him. When I say mothering him, I'm not talking about cooking him a meal or giving him a back massage. That is not what mothering is. Mothering is when you're telling him exactly how to do things. Like, wait, you're gonna hurt yourself. What are you doing? Do you even know what you're doing? You did it wrong. You're supposed to do it this way. Ugh, I have to do everything myself. You know, the complaining mom type of thing. Masculine men are not gonna respond well to that type of energy. So you're not his mother, you are his wife. Act like that. Let yourself be led by his energy. He's gonna make mistakes, that's fine. He's also on his journey of figuring out his place in the relationship. Let him figure it out. I assure you, there are very capable people that can find their way into pleasing you, pleasing your desires. You don't even have to tell them what they are. They're very sensitive to our energy. So, in summary, let him be. Let him make mistakes. Let him figure it out on his own. He's gonna appreciate it more, and you are going to gather the results of that in the long run, and you're gonna love it. All right, for number 4, let me think how I want to say this. I have titled it Entitlement and Lack of Appreciation. So, when you start your spiritual journey of feminine energy, chances are that you have heard, read, or seen videos about how women are goddesses that need to be worshipped and loved and treated as precious gems. I agree. I think this is 100% correct. Our energy is precious and needs to be taken care of. Now, I have seen, however, a little bit of entitlement on some women. And what entitlement is wanting to take and take and take without even appreciating what you're taking. So you want all the gifts, all the attention, all the love in the world. You want a provider husband, but you don't appreciate the effort that he puts into bringing food to your house. You just think, yeah, that's it. That's what I deserve, and that's it. You have to step out of that entitlement energy. Worthiness and entitlement are completely different things, and men thrive on appreciation. Now, I'm not saying you need to give the same that he's given. I'm not saying that you have to go and find a way to pay the bills as well. That's not how men receive appreciation. But you do need to learn how to communicate that with your energy. You need to actually look at everything that he does, and as I mentioned in my last point, you need to look at him like he's a hero. I've seen some women seeing men as a thing, like a TV that gives you information and gives you things, or like an ATM who just cashes out a bunch of bills and that's it. And that pains me because there are people too, they have needs and dreams, they have their own energy and relationship to God. So, in order for you to be treated as a goddess and for Him to see the goddess in you, you have to be able to see the God in Him. Entitlement is really wounded feminine energy because, as we know, the energy of a woman is movement, desire, want, energy, a lot of joy, pleasure, a lot of flowing like water. And the energy of a man is more that of constructing, structuring, holding together, and one needs to complement the other. The fact that we want and that we create and that it is easy for us to connect with God to manifest what we want does not mean that automatically we are entitled to use a man like a tool. A man is also a person, especially your husband. Treat your husband with respect. Appreciate what he does, and he will appreciate you more as well. And finally, number 5 is You simply do not know how to speak to him. In the feminine energy journey, we learn that it is important to speak with more than our words. Our aura, our vibration, our nonverbal communication, all of this is always giving a message. And the way that we feel about ourselves also shows up in the way that others feel about us. Whenever you are in a relationship where you feel that communication isn't flowing greatly, what I recommend is always working on your energy first before using your words. Chances are that if you use your words to explain to him what is going on, what is triggering you, what you don't like about him, what you don't like about the way that he's doing things, chances are that you're going to trigger him as well. You're going to end up fighting, you're going to end up triggering something really huge that you don't want to deal with that may actually damage your relationship more than it can do good. Men have been trained to kind of not listen to what a woman says or take everything as a big complaint, as as I mentioned on the other points, as you being controlling, as you being a critic. There are many things that men have built in their heads about women, just as women have built in their heads about men. So as you can see, limiting beliefs go both ways, and stereotypes about the genders go both ways as well. So before you try to speak to him with words, I actually recommend that you speak to him with energy. Heal yourself. I have a meditation on the link down below that is called Heal the Void. This is going to help you work through all of those triggers, all of those lacks that come from your childhood, and it's going to help you heal them and replace them with good feelings. Once you work on your trauma response, on your triggers, on your emotions, you are going to see how your man opens up to you. I have done this myself firsthand. I have seen things that before, if there was a topic that I tried to touch on, it felt like it was forbidden, like I wasn't even supposed to be talking about it, or it would trigger my partner greatly. And right now, they're just things that I can communicate very, very easily. But this is because I worked on my energy first, and my energy spoke before my mouth. You do not have to explain every single little thing that you learn. When you are in a spiritual journey, chances are that he is not going to be on board 100%. Men are very spiritual, but they do it in a different way. They don't go on YouTube and start doing meditations and inner child work or stuff like this. There's some that do, but most men don't. So you don't need to push these things on him. Once you do them yourself, he automatically kind of updates with you. It's really crazy to see it live, and I have seen that happen in my marriage. But once you evolve, he kind of evolves with you, and there are many things, listen to me, there are many things that he has evolved on that you will evolve without him even telling you about that. So it goes both ways, right? There are many things that you will learn from him, there are many things that he will learn from you. And in many cases, you don't even need to sit down and have a full talk. Something that also goes along with this point is manipulation. Yes, I know. You think you're being very slick by trying to play with his feelings, trying to make him feel guilty, trying to drop subtle hints that you are bored with the relationship, that you don't like what he does. Men are not stupid. They most of the times can pick up if they're being manipulated. Sometimes it will work. Yeah. Sometimes if you complain about not getting flowers, he may go and buy you flowers and you may be kind of happy for a while, but that is not what you want. What you want is the feeling of being appreciated, isn't it? So manipulation isn't gonna take you a long way. I assure you there are many things that you can do or say because you're emotionally stronger. You know his mind better. There are many things that you can do to manipulate him, but they will know, and they will start kind of resenting you about it. So I don't recommend that you build resentment or that you base your relationship off of being manipulative. If you really love your husband, you don't want to do something like that to him. And if you do that to him, you're kind of telling to the universe that it's okay if they do it to you. And trust me, you do not want to be manipulated by a man. It is dark. It is a bad spot to be in. So don't manipulate him. Don't tell the universe, don't tell God that you somehow think it's fine, because you need to be reciprocal in your desires, in your wants, in your actions. So just work on yourself and trust me, once you heal your feminine energy, you're going to see your relationships bloom like never before. All the love in the world is available to you. A man, a husband is It's just another way of God loving you. And it's so beautiful once you step out of the triggers, once you work on your voids, once you get rid of the wounded feminine energy and really step into your power, your sweetness, your playfulness, your goddess, your inner goddess. All of these things are like fruitful soil for a relationship. And it's fine if it takes you a while to get there. It's fine if you and your partner are triggering each other. It's fine if you find marriage to be a challenge in the beginning, but I assure you that the sooner you get to healing yourself, the sooner you're going to experience true, deep, fulfilling love. And I can't wait for you to get that as well. It's one of the most beautiful things out there to have a partner to experience life with. And it is possible. It is possible for you. It doesn't matter how his personality is. It doesn't matter what he says. Many times men say things and we get discouraged, but your desires are your desires and he doesn't have to be on board. You don't have to manipulate him. You don't have to force him to do anything. It will just come because your source is God. It's not a person. Your source is God. So drop out of that mentality, drop out of those limiting beliefs. Be strong, step into your power, work on your inner triggers. I have a free guide down below where you can write about what you want to feel, how does the future look like for you. And this is going to help you manifest so much faster. I also have some meditations that I have done myself that have taken my relationship to the next level. I look forward to do more videos on relationships. It's really one of my favorite topics and one of the things that I feel like I have succeeded the most in. So if you have some questions, just drop them down below and I may do a Q&A type of video where I can answer them. So yeah, I'll see you again in another video, ladies. Perhaps I'll do how healed feminine energy shows up in relationships. That will be a really nice video. Let me know if you want to see it. And thank you. See you. Bye bye.